Hello YouTube, I'm Aldex, and well, people have requests for a little tutorials and stuff like that, but there's one that told me to make a map maker insight or something. Well, here it is. I'm just going to try to give you a trick or two or a tips to make your own map maker and stuff. Well, first of all, sorry for this code. It's kind of really ugly, horrible. I just make it on the rush. Like I needed a map maker fast, and I just did everything like pretty fast and stuff. So, well, first of all, if you're going to make a map maker, you should think first about how are you going to load and save the files. For example, my maps in my game and the platform game I'm working on and stuff like that works just as tile-based tiles. And what I mean is that every map is stored in like an integer array, like here. Yeah, you should ask, here is an A, and this is not integers, but this is just how the program will interpret it. So every square, every character represents one tile. For example, this is a 16 by 16. This is 16 by 16 squares that's going to the game for it to interpret. So, for example, if I get my game here, so you see this level, you see it, but this is a platforms I'm working on. It's not working yet, so you see this level. This level is this file. It's just, let me check this file. As you can see, let me put the game here. As you see, this square, this little square of solids, of tiles I've made. Well, this is all loaded with this file. This file tells the program what is going to be in which tile. So for example, if it's a 0, there's nothing. If it's a 1, there's solids or whatever. So first you gotta think about that. How are you going to save it? How are you going to work with it? Then using the map maker is just a program that lets you see graphically what your map's going to look like, instead of making just like typing a lot of text that you don't actually see how it's going to see, how it's going to be. This was what some map maker does. Just kicks in and start giving you the graphical help to see how your game is going to be like. So for example, this is my map maker. I think you have seen it from my other videos, and you can put whatever you want, enemies, tiles, whatever. When you save this map here, save, and you insert the name here, for example, my map for YouTube.map. I have saved it. It's going to be saved in the map maker directory as this little file with just numbers and letters sometimes. So all I do is use the fstream library that comes with C++. This is what let me load and save my files. That's what people normally use for that. So let me show you here. Let me go around it just a second. So if load button is pressed, I first get the map name from the user, so I make him type to the screen. I got this, and then when you press enter, it just makes it run. He search for the file you have typed in, and he started doing this little loop here until he gets everything inside of that file. So he gets the current line, he gets the char, the current character, and then it just makes it go to the integer array. But since here I was working with the map maker, I decided to make I use chars for it, not integers. That's my game. In the game is for integers. I made it here for chars, just to make it easier for me to spell things and don't have to make a transformer, to change integers into chars and stuff like that. So all I do is just save the file, and when you load it, it takes that integer, that integer array or that char array, and loop through it with a for loop. Let me see, let me check, where is it? I'm just, I use a for loop to iterate through all of that map and draw it on the screen. So that's basically how it works, how I have been doing my map maker. And it's pretty easy. All you have to think is about you're going to store your file, and that's all you need to do. Like, really think about everything, how it's going to work. And I will give you this advice: plan everything before you start coding. It's pretty, I know some of you think it's a waste of time and you just want to get on the run, but it's better. You actually get a better view of your project, and maybe you will see that the stuff you want to do is not that easy or that hard. So if you would make a map maker that's not going to be tiles, you could save stuff like having, for example, a name of the object, and then you search for the object, a semicolon to tell that the name has already finished. That's not going to be another name on it, and you put something like X, something like that. So you can make your program interpret that as it's going to make a new object instance of the object class in an X position of 100. You just gotta think about it, how it's going to work, how you're going to work. So really, if you don't know about F-stream, you just get a little reading about that. It's not that hard, it's really easy. And that's all I gotta say to you. So hope this helps a little bit, and sorry for my bad English. Goodbye.